Episode 9 of the Daily Dozens, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. We're the recruiting roundup guys. JasonJewelScout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. Let's get started with a quarterback from down south.
Yeah, I'm talking about Rhett Rodriguez, quarterback at Catalina Foothills. Now, his name gets overshadowed a little bit because his father is Rich Rodriguez, the head coach at University of Arizona. But Rhett can play. He's been starting on varsity since he was a freshman. Very good football player for Catalina Foothills and head coach Jeff Skurin. I'm going to get a chance to see him play live on Friday against Desert Edge High School.
Horizon offensive lineman Luke Rudolph got a little bit overshadowed the last couple seasons because of Jake Grant. He's now up at Utah. Luke Rudolph becomes instantly the leader on the offensive line for the Huskies, who've got a tough task ahead of them in Division I, a couple tough stretches, but I like what their offense has done since Chris Heavner took over as head coach.
Williamsfield has a great weapon in their junior kicker. Brandon Ruiz was overshadowed last year by his brother Blake, who was the starting kicker, but Brandon actually made a second-team all-section last year. Again, a very dangerous weapon, guy that has a bazooka foot, can kick the ball into the end zone on kickoffs that are going to lead to touchbacks. An underrated weapon for Steve Williams and Williamsfield High School.
Boston Sanders over at Centennial High School, throwback type of player. He's short in stature, but he plugs those gaps and he gets into the offensive backfield often. I like to really compare him to Kevin Minter with the Arizona Cardinals. It's a tall task. You don't want to compare a high school guy to a professional, but they're similar in stature and similar in demeanor. I like what they have in Boston Sanders. He's one of the captains of this Centennial defense.
One of my favorite defensive players returning in the state is Kurt Schugert, the safety at Chaparral High School, committed to New Mexico State. Guy is just a ball hawk and just a baller. On defense, he's a hard hitter. He's a ball hawk, like I already mentioned. But I watched him last year against Red Mountain and Paradise Valley. I thought he was a very tough, physical running back. So if he's able to play both ways this season for Chaparral High School, I expect them to do big things moving up to the Division I ranks.
A small school superstar. Say that 5 times fast. Spencer Schuler over at Bisbee. This kid is an absolute stud. Last season, 10 interceptions, over 1,300 yards receiving, and maybe the most impressive stat of them all, had an average of 30.8 yards per return on punt returns. This guy does it all for Bisbee, and he is a small school guy, but he needs next level attention. I love this kid.
Yeah, we've mentioned quite a few of the Basha offensive linemen. Another one we're going to mention is Nick Sylvester. Last year played right tackle. With the emergence of Jonathan Nathaniel, he's going to bump inside and play right guard, which is where I think he naturally fits at the next level, what he'll play in college. Doesn't have an offer yet, but I really think this guy is a Division I prospect. He's 6'4", 285 pounds, and very physical.
Marana Mountain View is a program that has really improved and really impressed over the last couple seasons. They have a very underrated quarterback in Justice Somerset. He is 6'4", last season, just under 2,800 yards passing, 21 touchdowns. He's also a dual threat. He can get it done with his legs. He had 300 yards rushing last season. Marana Mountain View is going to have an impressive season behind their leader, their quarterback, Justice Somerset.
Norris Vaughn got an early Christmas present last year when Jack Smith transferred in from Indiana. Now he has a Division I quarterback to instantly replace Garvin Alston from last season. He already committed to UNLV, dual threat type of guy that's going to change some of the offense and the dynamics that Mountain Point has traditionally done. They like to run the football, but according to Coach Vaughn, they're going to change some things up and be more of a spread offense.
Christian Skeptaris, one of the top tight ends in the state of Arizona, committed to UC Davis over the summer. 5 touchdowns last season. He will be one of Grayson Berry's top targets going into this year. He also gets it done blocking. I'm a big fan of his strength and what he can do from a blocking standpoint in Chaparral's offense.
We get to cover yet another Taylor, this one at Chandler High School, junior Colby Taylor. Obviously the name is historic here in Arizona, great lineage, but he is a great player in his own right. Already has several offers, including Louisville, Oregon State, and a handful of other schools. Kind of overshadowed right now by senior Nikhil Harry, who's a big-time prospect. But Scout, we already ranked Colby a 3-star guy, a guy that after this season will be the man, the go-to guy at Chandler High School.
And to close out this episode of the Daily Dozen, another quarterback, Teron Thomas. This guy, dual threat to a T, had about 3,000 yards of total offense last season. Desert Edge remains in Division III despite all the division shakeup, so I like them as one of the main contenders in Division III because of their experience at that level and the great play they have at quarterback with Teron Thomas. That's it for Daily Dozen, episode number 9.